champions. It feels like it's been forever since I posted in Exploring the Libraries. I can't even remember the last time I did. Apparently it was in the 60s. Hey, that's
wow.
Like, it was episode 60 something was the last one that I had on my system. We're in like episode 97 now.
Right, the episode 60s. I was like, the 60s? What?
1960s.
How old you are? It's not that.
I'm quite magical.
Yeah. Little chrono walker there, I think. That's funny. So no, Jeff, you do not get a tsunami on loop for the next hour.
Alright.
There we go. Alright, I've pushed this at random places. I've done the thing.
How is the sound and video? I'd love to know from the community how that's going. Everything seems like it's fine on my end. System looks good. Everything seems to be going okay. I think this is the first time.
I'm gonna mute myself for a sec, and we'll see if the static's still there. So I'm gonna mute.
I'm wondering if the static is my space heater causing some problems.
Oh, it's your space heater. We've had that problem with your space heater.
All right, let me go turn that off. It is so cold in this room.
All right, well, off he goes. Just us. He's not in a wind tunnel. I'll rotate this, though. Could rotate this, do a little better. There we go. Sup? He's still working on it.
Hopefully that's better. It's still there.
I don't know, like, how long ago that was.
Alright, we'll see how that goes. If I start getting really cold, I'll have to put my sweater back on. Yeah, it was that. That's a shame.
Well, you'll be okay.
Hey, Gametronic joined us.
Hey, Matt.
Shahan's here too. Awesome.
Everybody's here. Many people are here. I should pop on a Twitch too then, so I can see what's going on over there. But,
I just got the chat going off on the side there.
Well, that's boring. Cheers, everybody. Cheers to seeing a lot of you guys, a couple of you guys maybe on Thursday. I'm in late Thursday night.
Yeah.
So.
You're coming in Thursday. Demyan's coming in tomorrow.
Yep.
A few other people.
Germany's flying out tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see the Germany folks again.
There's a, we both have coffee. There's one. We do not, this is not coffee. That is not coffee. That is a...
This isn't either, actually. This is tea.
There's actually an espresso bar that also serves beer and food. Like, right downstairs?
Yeah, it's actually, like, you have to step outside, but it is just downstairs. The Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. I haven't gone in, but it looks really cool. Yeah, so we actually brought coffee both years, last year and 2019, and no one touched it. And we were like, all right, I can't do it again. So there does seem to be the request, especially since it's 2 days. Maybe next year we'll look into doing it again. But this year, I don't know.
Espresso bar. We told him, like, we shot him an email saying, hey, there's a whole bunch of people that are going to be there.
Oh, Jeff, you're coming down on Friday. Awesome. I know we're going to try setting up the hall and get everything done relatively early Friday evening so that there's time for all of us to come crash the casual Genesis gaming that's going to be happening at the hotel.
The Holiday Inn. Bazaar.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. I think the thing I'm most excited about is just seeing friends again, seeing the community again. A lot of people I haven't seen for quite a while. Some people I just haven't seen. So.
Yeah, I've also been hanging out, you're going to all the trade shows. That's your life. That's what you do now.
Yeah, that's my life.
Really good. No, I'm excited for those. Like, I've done a couple of these, like, kind of the game tournaments type of things. Like, I did it for Flesh and Blood. And like there's so much fun and so many stories to be had in like the 2 a.m., 1 a.m. hotel lobby
Hmm.
get-togethers.
Yeah.
Um, because there's always madness, and usually I've got beer. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really cool to see everybody just kind of throwing down whatever. I know some people are bringing like some fun deck things. Chances are, especially if they're not wanting to show off what they're actually bringing to the championship, you might see just a little bit more of like kind of a break.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll see. I know that's kind of depending on some people's moods. I'd be curious for people who are showing up for playing. Like some people are like I just want to be in the zone. I'm not gonna play anything else. Don't give me any of this. And some people are like, I kind of need that kind of silly game, just kind of ease the nerves a little bit. I don't know
Yeah.
where do you sway in the if you're going to a competition? Is it you locked in 100% or
Um. So when I did competitions leading up to it, I usually was playing my deck a lot more, practicing. I wasn't. But I never got to do these type of big events. I didn't play anything really big like this for Magic or for Yu-Gi-Oh or well, I did play Pokemon competitively, but Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, or I'm trying to think of other games that I actually took seriously. Those are the big ones. I never got to go to a multi-day tournament, but I really liked it. I did go to PAX back when it was in Seattle for 2 days, and it was a really small type of convention.
Mhm.
And they had this really cool thing where you just came, you played against someone, you got your score, and you went and submitted it, and you won prizes off of it. So you just found strangers and you played against them, and I just had a blast doing that. So I like playing the more casual things. I think it would be really cool, like getting together and practicing limited, doing sealed or drafts with the community and seeing how that goes. So I
I
would
still
definitely
need
be
to do
out for
limited.
that.
I've still never actually done a limited. I
Yeah,
need to.
yeah.
I keep not being able to make it like on time
Mm.
because I never get to make the we do events like at 6, but by the time I'm done, like I get there at 6:30 and like I already started and I'm like I don't like you. They're having fun though. My guys down at Smetch, they're constantly doing like 4-player.
Nice.
It's always 4-player.
4-player free for all, probably my favorite format. Uh, that's the one. So the one side event that we're doing, and we're doing it on both days, is the sealed box free for all, right? Sealed box.
Mhm.
And the idea is you get 4 people, you divide the packs up, you just do a sealed deck construction with your pool, and then you do a free for all, and whoever wins that free for all won the match. And I'm like, I love that format because it's really fast. It gives you a good experience with the deck, with the booster box, and then yeah, you can just turn around, get your rewards, go claim stuff on the prize pool, come back and do it again.
That's cool.
Yeah, free for
I
all is
like that. I
definitely
dig
a big
that.
thing. So it doesn't look
Question
like
in chat, and I guess like Will's like maybe gonna be here, so we can
yeah.
kind of truly like explore library stuff because I know we want to talk about the gauntlet from Chrono Walkers today,
Yeah.
and kind of what we've been seeing people playing. Also, if 2 of y'all wouldn't mind, go subscribe to Jeff because he's at 198. Which is like go get him to 200 because that's
Yeah.
gonna drive me nuts. Um, but I figure, like, I expect some people will probably be asking some questions, like, how many confirmed players do we know of? Do we know how many rounds day one's going to be?
So I think we're at 60 plus players right now,
Wow.
somewhere around there. It's difficult because when we started doing the registration, at first we only had it for people who are coming in to play the championship, and that was really easy to see how many players were coming in. But then we opened it up to everyone. We lost analytics on that, and then now I put it back in. So when you go to register, you actually ask what part of the event are you there for. But we had this gap of people registering because we have over 80 plus tickets registered, and only like 10 of them are just staff. A lot of our staff haven't registered yet, and that's difficult. So yeah,
That's okay.
I think majority of the tickets are. This is definitely feeling like a much larger event than last year. It's not like 10 times larger than last year's event, but it definitely we're seeing the growth and the commitment, and we're seeing also the scope change. It's not just Southern Ontario coming to play. We've got people coming in from everywhere to come play, and that's a really cool feeling too.
Yeah, for sure. Since it's coming in, Shahan, I'm not sure if that's a joke, but go ahead and register, like genesisboc.com/championship. Register is really just so we get an understanding of numbers. There's also the opportunity to kind of pre-order food and things there, so it's really for that. It's not like we're not gonna let you in.
Yeah.
Speaking of let you in, hello, Will. That was
Hello.
well timed.
Will.
Just as I say, it's not like we're gonna let you in for not registering. In comes Will.
Hey,
Ringing the
there we go.
doorbell. Welcome.
Thank you.
But it's not like we're not gonna let you in if you don't register. It's literally just to help us with numbers, and kind of know what to expect. The other thing to note is that we've got a lot of, we've been reaching out to a lot of game shops, and there's a couple of groups that are actually at the kind of university that we've also been kind of reach out to just to get them like, hey, stop by and check out the game, and there's a really cool thing happening right now. So that, hopefully we'll see some people from that. So we don't exactly know what the we don't know what the entire count's gonna be.
Carl, you're asking when we were going to tell you to register. That was on Alex's side. Alex was supposed to tell all the game design team to go register, so I'm passing the blame over to him. But yeah, go register on Eventbrite, and then yeah.
I have to remember that I see Carl's name a lot, but we don't like talk. So I'm like, oh, he's one of ours.
I know.
I'm like, I've been telling the fan server for like every day. Like, oh wait, you're a little different.
Yeah. So Will, how are you?
Good. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't able to get on time. Just different parental duties needed to be taken care of. So, yeah, good. We're a few days out. Getting excited.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
I got some practice in on the gauntlet. That was so much fun to watch. Man, that was fun to watch.
Yeah, they did a really good job. So
I've been heads down working on Day of Beckoning and a bunch of other administrative stuff. I've missed a lot of this gauntlet, so catch me up because it looked amazing. I keep on seeing it show up in my feed. I'm like, I've got to watch this, and then it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, I should probably head home from work at some point. So
right.
How's the gauntlet?
yeah, it was good. Like they basically took the top decks from the circuits, and then they asked me to reach out for a couple other decks just to fill in the brackets. And yeah, it was a very interesting bracket. I think they had different people playing, so they tried to not make it like one person playing one deck the whole time or whatever, but tried to show.
That was funny though, like because you mentioned that they shoved in a couple of decks, which literally one of them was forced phage because they just forced phage in this tournament.
There was no phage, so we had to force it.
They forced it in.
Nice.
And she ended up almost getting winning bottom bracket. She lost it to Tasher's Tigers, but
yeah,
like,
Alta's good. Alta's got a great ability and a great pool of aura. So
those millipedes, man.
Yeah, they can
Those
play a lot of
millipedes.
But yeah, it was So we had Nubia represented, Kun, Kato, Tashir, Sitir,
Idris, Alta,
and
Bazin. Wormstrike.
Yeah. So a good summary of decks in different plays. So those millipedes, fit 9 in my Alta deck. Exactly. There you go.
Was there anything that came out of this that was surprising? Like just seeing these different decks fight against each other that probably didn't in some of the circuits. Were there big revelations come out of them?
Big
Tigers is like a lot scarier than I gave it credit for. Like I knew it was scary, but I was really shocked to see Satir because I thought Satir was like another one you just forced in there. I don't know if he was, but
no, honestly, Satir was my championship champion for a long time up until I realized everyone else decided to also play Satir. So now I'm scrambling to make some changes. So I think the biggest revelation outside of like Tigers are really strong, which I think people who've been playing the Tigers have really latched onto and really understand that, is just how many ways Chrono Walker can break the game. and just there's so many things that Chrono Walker can do to break the game, and can just make it impossible for your opponent to win. If you have, one more Chrono Walker than they have plays, that can decide the game in that moment, depending on the plays. But
Interesting, yeah, because we talk a lot about how bolt shots are really overpowered. For a while, there was a long conversation about angels being overpowered, and that got changed with Origins. Bolt shot became the primary conversation. Tigers definitely came to light, but it was always a thing since day one. Since I met Alex, it's always been Chrono Walkers. Chrono Walker is something that we've always feared how it'll shape meta, how things will change as the game grows. So that's interesting to hear that. Yeah.
That didn't help at all. I was trying to fix some lighting things. Now I just whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Chrono Walker has always been a card on, on one of the top powerful cards, most powerful cards in the game, and the ways that it can manipulate and change things, and how the targeting decoy actually works and stuff, it can get really confusing. So luckily we have a set of judges there at the championship, and you can always rely on them to make it their job to figure it out. So.
Yeah.
Will's like, not my job. Their job now.
Sean, one of the actual Chrono Walkers, is going to be a judge, so I feel like this is very appropriate.
So, Shockwave is saying, walk the viewers through the one for people who didn't see. Okay, yeah. So basically, there was an instance where we had a couple different instances where, if you are playing an ability, there's a card called Cog Restrict that lets you basically negate any ability played by a champion. Now, the way that the Cog Restrict is worded, it says negate target ability played by target champion. So the Cog Restrict targets both a ability and a champion at the same time. So if you Cog Restrict in response to someone playing if you Chrono Walker in response to someone playing a Cog Restrict, Chrono Walker changes the targeting. Therefore, the Cog Restrict actually targets the Chrono Walker, not negating the ability anymore that it was originally targeting. So you can Chrono Walker out of a Cog Restrict.
Oof.
Yeah.
That is actually 3 years ago was the first time I decided to quit the game.
I remember that. I was there.
You were there.
I was there.
Yeah.
It was with Decoy
I had a
Rabbit,
literal
though.
flip the table moment where I didn't actually flip the table, but it's like, I'm done. I can't play this game. And I stood up, I walked outside, and had to calm down.
Yeah.
The other one was if you Chrono Walker and they Chrono Walker, and then you play an ability and then they Chrono Walker again, it gets really messy which Chrono Walker actually does or has dealt the damage. Some of those things are very difficult. It also depends.
Would it be the second one?
So it depends on when you play the Chrono Walker. So if you play your Chrono Walker in response, so let's say there's an ability like a shutdown.
Okay.
They Chrono Walker, and then you Chrono Walker in response to their beckon. There's no decoy hasn't happened yet, so that can get missed if they play another Chrono Walker. But if you respond to the decoy, then the decoy has already caused the targeting shift and targeting change. So the first one that causes that targeting change is the one that all abilities now target it.
So it's basically the first one to officially land on the table.
Yes.
Well, so it's also good to note that landing on the table and having decoy resolve are two separate things, right? The beckoning is getting it onto the table. Then when it hits the table, decoy goes onto the stack. So it's important to not just remember the order of the stack, but where each ability is pointing to. And if multiple things are pointing to a champion and decoy happens, all those things are now pointing to the summon. And it gets confusing.
You just
And
need to make
unfortunately-
you just need to make a new like Chrono Walker token of like Chrono Walker is the target.
You just need to put up a sign.
That's your stack token.
Each table should have a sign that's just the Chrono Walker, and when the sign gets lifted up, the judge just rushes right over to go, oh, Chrono Walker, let me help you out. But if you Chrono Walker in response to their Chrono Walker, there's no targeting between Chrono Walkers. So yes, it allows you to move around, and less it allows your ability to go in, but it doesn't matter because that Chrono Walker that they're playing, once that decoy happens, it is still going to target that no matter where it is. So it is there's a lot of loopholes, and if you know the rules really well about them, and if you have experience with Chrono Walker, you can do a lot of things with it. So,
So the crazy
Sean
thing,
and Eric are going to sign Chrono Walkers, by the way, I guess.
that'd be awesome. So the crazy thing for me was when I was at the first Genesis tournament that we hosted that had Chrono Walkers in them, and people were asking me all these rules and trying to figure out all these things, and it's like, we're learning as we're going because the rules explicitly tell you what to do, but we've never experienced these moments before. So there's a question in the judge test about Chain Lightning and Lambs to the Slaughter, because it happened in the very first tournament, and people are asking me what happens in this situation. So we're trying to map it out, and luckily we had a few people there who were much more advanced in computer science than I was, and they were like, "Okay, this is how this works." I'm like, "Yep, that makes sense." Yep.
Some if-then logic.
Yeah, it's C++ and their pointers. I think it's C. C++ doesn't use pointers, but C uses pointers. Yeah.
you lost
Chrono
me at
Walker
C++.
starts with C. Best I've got.
Cookie starts with C. That was my favorite song in grade 7.
And congrats, now you know what it feels like to be in a Holiday Inn Express lobby at 1 a.m. playing Genesis. It's just going to be just us singing the Cookie Monster song.
In the regards of signing things, a few people who are coming out to the championship, they should know this. One is, if you win the championship, the champion you're playing with, I'm going to get you to sign it and give it to me. So make sure it isn't like some high, rare version of it, because, I'm taking that from you.
But
Nope, whichever one you win. But in return, what you get is the map that you won the championship on. And that's going to be pretty cool. So
nice.
The way it's going to work is during the competition, every time people sit at table 1 and table 2, they're going to sign the map. So the person who wins the championship is going to get the map, and it'll show a log of every single person who played on that map.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
kinda
psyched
cool.
about that.
So the one they're playing on is going to be signed.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what color pen.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
It depends on the color of the mat, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, we know it's brown, so like...
that one.
Black.
That's not the table 1 mat, but that's the mat that's going to be out there.
Oh, the
That's
table
the
1 mat's
championship
the
mat.
snooty mat.
Yes. Yeah. This is the
I see.
championship mat. We had people sponsor table 1 and table 2. So whoever wins
Gotcha.
the semifinals gets table 2's map, and then whoever wins the finals gets table 1 map. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's real cool. What's up, Jordan? What's up, team? Well, I was a little worried because we're playing around with broadcast graphic things, and trying to come up with ideas, and we've been toying around, with the Telestrator idea, and we've got my tablet that we're gonna give out to the we're gonna try this. We've got my tablet. I'm gonna give it
Plays.
Yeah, actually, because it's a convertible one, so you can do some feisty tricks with what you set up on the screen.
Nice.
So that way you can live stream this into OBS,
Nice.
and then you basically use a green screen to knock out, the background. So all that's left is the pen.
That's genius.
So
Yeah.
so if we make it the same size as the mat that we see on the screen, and we kind of put little guides so we know what the heck we're looking at, we can literally do Telestrator play-by-play.
Nice.
I can't
so we're
wait
gonna try it
for
out.
a satyr matchup where there's like 12 summons on the board, and it'd be like, okay, well, if this summon were to hit this summon, but if this summon didn't respond, but this summon did respond.
I just imagine the
With
competition.
all
Like, I
the-
give
just
up.
the-
I'm
just all
done.
of-
At that point, you're just gonna start seeing numbers, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we're gonna try. We've got a lot of cool things that we're trying. I've spent the last like 2-3 days working on broadcast graphics, which means some cool transitions and some B-roll things, and
Mhm.
it's been fun. And I'm tired. I'm so tired, but it's gonna be good.
And we
I'm
got
also gonna
the
try sideline
broadcasters
reporting.
are getting up to speed, and they're excited to.
Yeah, so I got a chance to. I actually met with Flake yesterday, and we were able to get a game in. And he's been chatting. He's been really impressed. Which is usually what happens when anybody sees this game who knows how to play games.
Mhm.
They're like, "This is deep." So yeah, Flake and DM Armada have both been watching like a lot of stuff. Like the Chrono Walker stuff has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's why I was so excited to try out commentary, which was really to kind of give them a little bit of a start, and try out the things that we like to see. But, yeah, so there was a point yesterday where Flake and I were playing, and naturally there's a lot of different rules. There's a lot of like, when can I do things, right? When can I respond and all of that. Like that takes a couple games of like really doing to grasp onto it. And I want to say like about 60-70% of the way through the game, it all just clicked.
Mhm.
Like everything clicked as far as like when he could do stuff and the order, what order to do stuff on the board. And he looked in his hand and he was like, oh, like an entire plan. Like the next 3 turns were just planned out. It was like, oh, you can do all that. Okay, I understand now. And he just he lost his mind. It was real good. It was real fun.
Nice.
So no, I'm really excited for Flake. Specifically, Matt DeMarco is his people name.
And he's
Dual
in
red
town, right?
name.
Yeah, he's
He's
about
in
30
town.
minutes away from the office. He's out in Toronto.
Nice.
But he's been in TCGs about as long as I have, actually. Like we both keep talking about the Star Wars CCG. I'm actually bringing up some sealed stuff from the old Decipher game from the 90s that we're gonna crack.
Nice.
Well, he's gonna buy one of them, and then we're gonna crack the other one, mostly because I want to show, because I want to introduce Assad to this idea, because these things were great. So these were official tournament sealed decks. Is
Yeah.
what they were. So these are, the box itself has a wrapper around it, so you don't actually know what the box inside looks like. It was a character.
Mm-hmm.
You can collect the actual boxes, and then inside there were a bunch of packs as well as static packs, or like everybody gets those cards.
Certain
that were
cards,
supposed to be
yeah.
in the sealed deck. And it was wild. It was really cool.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna open one and then I'm gonna give the other one a Flake. But yeah, he's a very eccentric personality as well. So if you ever watch like DM Armada, Steven, he's very somber. Like he's very like, I feel like we would just be sipping whiskey for an hour. And Flake's like PBR number 7. Like that's where he's at. He is down the what is PBR up in Canada? What, Molson? Labatt Blue? What is your like cheapest who gives a crap?
Lakeport.
What is it?
It's Lakeport. It's a buck of
Lakeport?
beer. Used to be buck of beer for Lakeport, but then the
sounds like- yeah, that's
conservatives
PBR.
came in and changed it all. But yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like that would be kind of like, that could be fun to do, like do some sketching in the middle. But other things we're going to try with the tablet, just because of we're going to be streaming from it, is some options for sideline reporting. Like if table 1 and table 2 just end in like 15 minutes and there's still 30 minutes in the rounds, like it's
Right.
no fun to have like a 30-minute waiting period. So we've got like the commentaries you can do interviews with, but it'd be kind of cool, like take this thing around. We'll have a camera attached to it. Same stream idea as what we've been doing with the pen, so we can
Right.
kind of like, hey, let's check out the event, like a telethon.
Mhm.
Let's see what the callers are talking about. This is Bob from Ohio.
Yeah, that's exciting. And is DM Armada, he's out of the States though, right?
Yeah,
So he'll
He's
be
in he's in Dallas.
okay. Oh wow, he's coming up all the way. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's a DFW.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm
Whenever
really
I refer to
excited.
Dallas, I talk about the trigger of DFW Airport.
I'm really excited to have DM come up because he was the first like content creator that actually responded to my emails, right? Like when COVID hit and we're trying to figure out, okay, how do we branch into the States? How do we grow a little bit more outside of Southern Ontario? He was the first person to respond. He was really excited about it. And he actually put a lot of effort in to try to like learn the game and put together good content. So his box opening for the beta starter deck, I know that's one of those things that not a lot of people have seen that, but I really like that video. He put a lot of care into it, and then his learn how to play was awesome.
Yes,
little issues here and there, but like he put together something that like I was like I can't do this on my own. We tried to make our own how to play video, and then we started pointing people to DMs instead. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, good call out from Jordan. We still use that how to play. I'm actually hoping to him and I are talking. We might try to sample it out and use it as some B-roll in between as well, because we're expecting a lot of new people who've never seen the game. So like the first couple rounds, we want to do a lot of like, let's actually explain to you what the rules are as they're playing, so you kind of know what's going on, and then we leverage that B-roll footage to be like, all right, now let's just show you how to play.
And we're going to be on YouTube, or everything, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook,
I think everything.
I think this
restream.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it should be on everything.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Kenny and I have been talking, and I'm stoked.
I'm already tired.
I feel you. I still got this to deal with.
I was working with the team to put together a list of all the stuff we need to bring. And I was like, this list is so absurdly large. Like, I don't.
You missed some key ones.
Yeah, there's so much in there that's missing. But it's like, oh my goodness, this is getting so.
Promos.
Yes, they're there.
Promos. Number one, promos.
They're there. It's on
I'm bringing you rappers, so recycle promos.
Yeah, God,
he comes in with pictures of Eminem and Jeezy, all these rappers.
We should have like the rapper wall, or like like some section where it's like
we'll get a corkboard. We'll get a corkboard and pins, and people can just start pinning up.
Just pile it, or like Joey said, just a pile in the corner. Yeah, that's the rapper pile.
There we go.
Just
we'll take
throwing.
selfies in the rapper pile, like what Professor does from time to time.
Nice.
But yeah, no. So he had like this big long list of things of like computers and cameras and all this, and I was like, surge protectors, like that'd be a good one.
Yeah, all my extenders have surge
extension cable.
Yeah, extension cords was on my. Those are like the top two things on my list: extension cords and surge.
There's never a plug where you want it to be, right? That's the biggest thing.
Nope. Yeah, it's frustrating. Thankfully, I've run a couple of big tournaments. I've run a couple of big events. I recently just did Battle Hardened. I did coaxing, so I'm used to 100+ people in a place that doesn't fit them all, where there's never a plug anywhere, and you don't know if you have internet. I know we have internet, but it's just like
Make sure. So Nick says that he just sent out his wrappers today. If you're sending them here, make sure you're sending them to the right address. I don't have access to anything that gets mailed to the old Bond Hill address, so it's the Britannia address. If you're sending them to the warehouse, yeah, that happened. I got a message from the people who have the old unit, the old warehouse. And they're like, yeah, you got some mail here. So I finally went and picked it up, and it's like that something was shipped. Somebody shipped the wrappers, but it got bounced back because I didn't hear about it in time. It's like, that's the worst return to sender ever. It's like you went to send out your garbage to get promos in return, but instead you just get your garbage back. It was great. This week,
you can send them to me.
Garbage out. That's the term.
Jordan says you can send them to me. I'll gladly take your wrappers. I need more promos, so I will gladly take the wrappers. His fan can hold all the wrappers. Oh, just you wait, buddy.
Need to build a challenge deck. A challenge deck, eh?
That's John, JC.
Oh yeah.
He's just gonna bring his Baruchs and his Malik. He's the same deck he's used ever since, because he can't get off of that deck, and that's the only deck he has, because he's a one-trick pony, like a Baruch.
Throwing down.
This is yeah.
Bring Sutir.
It feels like this is like built up revenge from like 2019. We'll just frustrated.
I beat him last year. It's all fine.
Yeah.
Satir
That'd be
50
cool.
chickens. 50 northern ossels in Satir. There you go.
Yes.
Because that deck sucked. Because I didn't draw AoE or Warp. So I lost a lot. That was a real rough deck.
Yeah.
It's a really fun one to show new players because they get a lot of understanding of like the tactical things, and then they're also realizing they're getting just beat to heck by chickens.
Chickens.
And then
Yeah.
eventually they realize, they learn about like the deck construction and how like utterly perfect that the deck is from a cheat perspective. I was like, that's a thing that can exist, and it beat me. I'm like, yeah, welcome to Genesis. Rope tornado. Just call it
Your
good.
rope tornadoes. You need your tsunamis.
Go.
Oh,
Any AoE.
Jordan mentions that Alex lost some stuff that Jordan sent up.
You can't trust Alex.
Also, I had a Nerd Girl promo signed for me. I specifically asked Alex about that. I never got that either. So, yeah, at some point I'm going to have to meet up with Nerd Girl and get that promo signed. My copy of it. Or company copy of it. I don't have my own copy of it. But
We're gonna trade stuff because I'm sending. She really wants a bunch of Idris things, so I'm gonna send her a bunch of Idris stuff.
Yeah.
So we talked about that, and she was like, because I gave away on her stream, I gave away Damyan's Idris sign, and she's like, "Can I be a part of this one?" She felt real bad, like she was real jealous, but like content creator jealous, so she was mad after.
Shockwave makes a really good point. We should make this as a thing. The new deck list document is now available on the website, so go to genesispoc.com/championship. It is there under the championship part of it. Print it out, bring a copy, or better than anything, send a digital copy to Alex ahead of time. So he has that in his mailbox. So send that, and if you have it, send your Coliseum of Fate link as well. It's not a replacement, but you can send both the Coliseum of Fate link and the actual deck list, so that we can actually get those decks posted sooner rather than later after the event. But
See, I was gonna say that I was gonna post that everywhere, but then I decided to be here.
yeah, well, we got 20 people watching right now, which is great, but that's not everyone who's playing. So let's we do need to get that word out as much as possible. So everyone, get your deck list ready. It just saves time. That way we can be on schedule for all the events. Make sure we actually end at an appropriate time on Saturday, so we can enjoy that evening and get some rest.
It also has the commentary. Yay.
Mhm.
It's also going to be important because day 2 is open, according to Alex. Open decks.
Oh,
Day 2.
yeah. So that's gonna be intense.
Yeah.
I feel
Take a couple minutes and review and.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy
that.
for the judges to have to actually do deck checks during the championship.
Mhm.
It's always so much
It's really
fun.
easy when you're Jeff's deck, right? Jeff's is just all 5 cheats. Oh, these are all the same card. Move on. And he's in Oni, so he can only have red. So red 5G. So it's all, let's say, Rampage Toss.
Is that the best 5G for Thymus?
Probably not. Could be all Gelato Baboons. That might work.
Yes. But then you run out of aura, right? At least with Rampage Toss, you get to keep playing until you.
Yeah, that doesn't mean Jeff's going to play them all. Like, Jeff.
Right. Yes, answer. Yeah, I need to post in Discord. You just heard why I didn't, because I'm here. And then Shrock, yeah. Open decks. So I'm not sure exactly how Alex is planning on it. I'm used to seeing like a review. I forgot I had a call with DM. Hey, yeah.
So is that the official word? Like we are going to after
Alex,
day
it's-
1, we're doing the deck list will be posted.
Not day 1. I'm not posting deck lists on day 1.
No, after day 1, going into day 2.
I don't plan on. I'm not gonna I don't have the time, effort, energy, or.
So I'm confused then. Wait.
Yeah, so like when we say like day 2 open decks, it's when so the way I'm used to seeing it done is when you get paired up on day 2, you both share deck lists and you get like a couple minutes to kind of study
Interesting.
and then go from there. It's not like we're going to be posting the top 16 like that night and you guys can spend the entire evening trying to tech against it. I've never seen it done that way.
The nice part is if it is in Coliseum Fate, that wouldn't be too hard to do.
Well, I mean, it's not like we're posting the Coliseum of Fate stuff, and you never exactly know which. Seeing one Tashier doesn't mean you know like the exact cards.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
at that
decks
point,
aren't changing,
at that point,
though,
it's
right?
no different
No,
than just trying to test against typical meta that most people do.
Yeah, your deck's not changing day 1 to day 2. The decks are staying the same. You're sharing your deck list with the person in the top.
At the end of the day, I think we should wait for Alex to make the official verdict of what his plans are for that. Because
Yeah. I know. See, I asked him very specifically that question, and he shot me a message that's yes, open decks on day 2. What the execution of that is, that's the thing I gotta ask him, just to be sure of. But
are we scolding?
if he's like, we're gonna post them all the night before, he's gonna do that, and I'm gonna go to bed because I don't want to do that.
Yeah, if you're playing in the championship, my assumption would be that your deck is the exact same from day 1 to day 2. Answering Shockwave.
Yeah, I would
like
certainly
it
hope
wouldn't
it's
make
not.
sense to allow people to change that.
But
All right, we're at 7:43. I just need to be a little bit conscious of time. But I know there was a few topics you had, Will. If there's any of them you wanted to
I think we
streamline those into.
covered kind of streamlined or went through most of them. Like we talked about the gauntlet, and that was able to wrap up today with the Satir Dash taking it all.
it's crazy to watch. You just didn't. I think third round, you just didn't get Tigers for the life of them.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
This is one of those things. It's like you can put 12 cards, 14 cards in your deck, and you can still not draw them. Right? It's
Yeah.
Oh,
And you got.
we haven't talked about the auction.
auction.
I've got some cool stuff to show off, and actually one thing to announce because I might as well. But auction.
Auction.
Cool. Am I throwing that up on screen? Is that the plan here?
It's not open yet. I haven't missed anything yet, have I?
No, you haven't missed anything.
So bidding doesn't start till Friday night.
Oh man. Now I'm glad we made the decision that we made. That I'll share in a sec. I forgot about that. I forgot that
Nice.
one.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, okay. I saw this stuff. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. When do I get to bid?
Right.
Right now.
Like, part of me wants it to go live right away, but it's like, no, we wait until Friday, we get some more word out there. So, okay, I'll throw open screen, but I don't think YouTube will be able to see it. But
Besides, it can't be a Genesis telethon if we don't have an auction going live.
Auction,
Right.
yeah.
Let's go to the big board.
so we got the
Last minute snipes.
Alpha Seal. We got the Alpha product, which we see. There's always been some bit of Alpha in every auction. Our first one was in 2020. We did do an auction at the 2019 championship. Trying to remember.
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6
Nodding like I know.
items.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot. But the Alpha thing
I lost out on the gift box.
That was
for
the
your
big
brother
thing in the Alpha.
for $1.
Yeah. The Alpha gift box that had every single card from Alpha. And the thing was, my brother opened it because he needed more giant scorpions.
Oh.
Knife in the back. I
was
was
so good.
playing, and I didn't realize that he was bidding on it as I was playing, and then you called time, and I was like, wait, my bid.
That's why we're doing it on
Oh.
Bid Beacon. So if anyone doesn't have an account with Bid Beacon, go to do that. All the information's on the championship website. So we got the booster boxes, but on top of that, we have one of each pack cover in the auction. That's so that there's more opportunities available there. We got the
Well, those are sealed packs,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
just a wrapper.
No, it's not just the wrapper.
That Baruch pack.
Now we
Nice.
know where the recycling program's going. See you in 2050.
There was a time where I was thinking the recycling program should be like not just weigh every pack equally. So like the newer stuff would be weighed equally, but if you got like beta packs, it's worth.
We don't need a tier system here.
That would have been too much work for me. Alpha Sidekick and the Giant Scorpion. So those are the big ones that are going in. I think this may actually spoil something. We'll see.
Wait.
We'll see. Because I'm in my
Okay.
account, I'm not in an anonymous account. So
Oh, wait, I
Is
can
there,
do- I can
is there
do that.
secret stuff that's not revealed yet?
there's one item that I haven't revealed because I'm not 100% sure if we're gonna have it, but
Well, I can
just-
pop. I can jump in. I got it. I can jump in.
All right.
Haha, it's actually the second secret rare that's not in the box.
No.
It's in the auction only.
No.
Zing!
No, this was a very special item for me, so I wanted to get it done, but I wasn't 100% sure if we were gonna have it live. So it will go live in the auction the moment I have it in my hand and I can confirm that we've got it.
Let's see. I'm seeing if there's anything.
Having just
No,
found-
you wouldn't be able to see it.
No. Okay. Yeah. This doesn't look like.
having just spent some time getting some very rare
Yeah.
items from Genesis this past 2
Okay,
weeks,
actually I fixed
I
that.
don't need anything more.
I just went
because
incognito. Sorry, I got it, Joey.
Okay.
So, in rare items, we're starting off with the Secret Art Iblis from Damian. This thing's really cool, personally, because this was one of the items that I saw this, and I was like, at first, I was like, I want this for myself. I wasn't going to put it in the auction, but the sheer fact that I wanted it myself made me realize that other people would want it. I was like, it had to
Is that like ripped from his sketchbook,
is.
or is that?
It is.
Yeah.
It's cut. Well, he cut it out of his sketchbook. Yeah.
Right.
That's really cool. I'm excited for that piece. Am I just going through the pieces, talking about them? Is there anything you guys want to
Yeah,
add?
might as well.
Yeah.
We're through half of them.
So, chaotic manipulation. This one is gonna come with the promo art card that you saw in the booster boxes. Some of you may have seen them in the booster boxes, but it's gonna come with that as well. That was part of the original intention of these promo cards. But so you'll get a card version along with the sketch. And the funny part was when I asked Camilla about this, she's like, "Is it okay that the back of it has some random like doodles of other things?" I'm like, yeah, that adds to the authenticity of it, right? So this is.
I mean, as long as it's like tasteful.
Yeah, but she's already framed it, so it looks really nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Definitely excited
if
about
you
that.
break the frame open, it's like National Treasure Nicolas Cage.
Jeff, you realize that the Oni starter deck is just hunting hounds.
More or
and
less.
like it's like 12 hunting hounds. I think it's maybe a rampage toss, probably a fire elemental.
I don't have an open one with me. I have the alpha
It's
one.
only red cards though.
Yeah.
It's
I
probably
think
gone.
I think there's Hunting Hound Flames, a Rampage Toss,
Ooh,
and maybe
flame. There
Earth
you go,
Elemental.
Jeff.
Earth Elemental would be in there.
Earth elemental?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, earth elemental. Yeah, yeah.
Because you need
Flame,
the 3/3,
that's the
the
one you need,
2/2, the flame that beats the 3/3, and then the Rampage Toss. That's probably the deck.
True. JC comes in with a good point, but that is an original Oni.
So
That is the original.
The Oni.
Like the Oni that's actually was in production, not the Arthur Oni.
Hmm?
Which Oni is in the front of that deck? It's the actual Oni, not the other Oni, right?
It's
Isn't
not.
there two Onis?
Yeah, there's two Onis. There's the or both of them were done by Arthur.
Oh, they're both done by Arthur.
Arthur did multiple sketches for Oni, and these were the two that were close to being done, like had color and everything. So this is the artwork that we used in the Alpha Oni. This was actually supposed to be our template of how Beta was gonna look like originally, and then when we went into production, the company said that we wouldn't be able to, because originally Beta was gonna be completely borderless. But when we went into production for Beta, you can. They said we have to add a border, a 0.12 millimeter border around the card, for bleed reasons, because they didn't have the technology to do complete borderless at that time. So you can see in the second photo, if you look around along the side of the cards, you can see the text box comes straight to the edge of the card. And that part is a little bit beige on the side of the card.
So that means they weren't printing on a full sheet then, like a big sheet, because you don't have margin issues on a big sheet.
No, you do. It's not the sheet size. It's the machines that they had available.
Yeah, this is GameCraft we're talking about.
This,
Got it, okay.
yeah. So this
Was it GameCrafter still?
No, not this stack.
Oh,
So
GameCrafter was alpha.
when before we went into beta, like before we had figured out which manufacturer we wanted to do the mass print of beta, we had all the cards templated, and I got them printed so I could see how they look like in my hand, and then we had to change everything in the last minute to go with the production team that we went with. But yeah, so these decks, I never released these. I just held on to them, forgot about them for a long time, and I had like 2-3 of these sitting around, and I was like, okay, want to get those out to the community. The
Thought I had an Oni up here with me. I don't.
yeah.
Got one in OP pack.
The other item we got is the test print sheet for J2 foils. So the story.
These are the ones we cut and brought to Origins?
Pardon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The borderless ones.
Yeah, these were. So the story behind this is before we went into doing Origins Kickstarter, we wanted to see could they do foil borderless cards? Like, how would that look like? Would the machines treat that properly before we did the box hopper foil epics? So we did a few sheets of J2 this way. And then, yeah, now I'm sitting on one myself, one for the company, and one spare. So that spare one's going into this auction.
Oh, wait, it is the same art. Wait, where's the second? Was the second Oni never printed?
The second artwork for Oni? It was the April Patreon promo.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. But it was never officially in alpha, right?
No, that artwork wasn't. There were little photo, like postcards made with that artwork on it. And I gave those out way back in the early alpha. Like, not before alpha was even manufactured. We had that artwork was being used. And I gave little, like, postcards to some people. So
Yeah, there it is. Patreon Oni. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring out more of that old artwork. Like, people who see Genesis for the first time, like, they definitely, like, the artwork from Origins is great. But then they start, like, seeing some of the alpha and beta cards, like, this is nuts.
Yeah, Arthur.
There's a real demand for that kind of old, that kind of, like, 90s Magic feel again.
Mm-hmm.
Everything nowadays is just so damn polished.
Yeah.
Which is funny, given that everybody's all about, like, the foils, but they want that
have you
rugged.
looked at Cog Restrict from back then, though?
Not every single one of them.
There's some things that are should be left on the cutting room floor.
You guys,
I know not
saw
every piece.
You never saw the actual, like the submitted version from that artist for the Cog Restrict, because that was vastly different than when Philip took it over and edited it. So Philip kept the core concept of it, but then changed quite a bit of it. But the actual artwork there never saw print.
Print it. Make an OP pack. Illustrator restriction.
Alright. We still got 2 more items left. Where is it? Here it is. So
yeah, and then like I said, I got cool stuff. So stick around because I've got cool things to end this on.
we got the circuit promos, the set of all 9 of them coming into the auction.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last item is design a non-champion card with the design team, because we got to reserve creating champion cards for the championship winner. And then I put up all these photos of the wonderful design team from the 2019 championship, except for Alex. I just have this random photo of Alex, and I use it whenever I need to promote.
He doesn't look like that at all anymore.
No, he doesn't.
Unrecognizable Alex. There we go.
Yeah, no.
But
Jordan's going to bid on the create a card.
I'm pretty sure he already did. Like, I'm pretty sure he was real adamant. Was like, oh, I got that thing.
One big thing we wanted to add to this auction were some rare one-of-a-kind items, along with the something experiential, something more than just okay, I got something, but like being able to create a card, work fully with the game design team on the testing side, design testing, and then with the art team directly to commission the artwork.
Wow.
So doing something more like what Steve-O did for Necrovich. And that was the experience that we're thinking about doing. So I was quite excited about that idea. That was actually pitched by Alex. So it's like, put this into the auction. And I was like, yeah.
I like the experience stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because I keep going back to like when I see kind of other big promos that are done, all that really ultimately means is like early access to something. I was like, oh, I got this amazing holy crap thing, that like, you know, I got a spoiler or something, and then like it's the same as once everybody is gonna get when the set comes out. So it's one of those like, this is mine. There's a story behind this.
Yeah.
The stories behind Genesis are
And one thing,
really kind of doing kind of a number.
yeah,
They're a lot of fun.
like one thing that makes Genesis really nice, and we've seen this from a lot of the community members, is the fact that you get to a lot of people who are part of the community and who get involved get often have had cards with their names printed on it because they designed it. Steve Nikolic, Will with Emergent Worm, and Pestle and Microphora, right? Like
That's
you
right.
can
Emergent
see-
Worm was
Yeah.
yours.
Shahan had
Poderodon or
Ponderodon, yeah.
Ponderodon.
The non,
Hari,
yeah,
Hari and Nullify were
from Dane.
Darren.
Colette did Zenith Pulse, and then we already know if anyone remembers, Steven has one for an upcoming set. That was also from a pitch contest a while ago. That'd be
Oh yes, that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, and we didn't forget about it. Yes, Mesmerizing Unicorn. That was one we had a hard time trying to make work. But bidding will open Friday at 8 p.m. I want to say. I think it says a time. It was 3 days. Yeah, Friday 8 p.m. Eastern. Because I know GameTronic's asking. I'm like, not same time zone.
Never.
Yeah.
I don't get my name on a card, but I got to write flavor text for one,
Nice.
and that makes me really happy. And it's an Easter egg, and I'm proud of it.
There we go.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm excited. Like, there's the free for all that I'm excited about. All the
Yeah.
bunch of drafts. The other thing is, which I'll get up. Like I've run into a logistics problem of the PVE because I want to do two. I'm going to do 2 sessions of PVE, but it only fits like 3 people. Like when I run it. So I'm like, I can't exactly just have a ton of people run through it, because that creates a couple of problems. So I'm like trying to figure out like how do I actually do that? So if anybody has any ideas, I feel like it's just like random selection, but I also feel like that's a jerk move because then you're kind of you're segmenting that entire section of time off for something that you might not even get to be a part of. So
Now, could you have 4 people come together and then you have the PV part like laid out for them, so one person runs it for 3 other people, and you don't have to necessarily run it, but it's all happening at the same time?
So given that this is just a test, like this is just me screwing around with some ideas. Like I still actually technically like need to get it approved through Assad. Right now I'm literally just testing mechanics. In the testing phase, there's nothing wrong with kind of like throwing it out as like a fan variance.
Mhm.
And saying like, if you guys want to try it out and just give feedback on certain elements of it, that's fine. It's not an official format yet. Or it's not even an official format the way that I have it at all. That's an Assad Alex Brad thing. But there's some really cool ideas going in it, and that's the stuff that I want to kind of test out.
Right.
With that said, that's a chat I have with the team of like, if I finish this up, can I send it out? But then it's like, then I got to kind of explain it. There's a lot to it. But one of the things that there is to it, this is one of the things I'm showing off because I've been talking about it for a while, but I've started getting the, I've got got painted minis.
Minis. Wow.
Alta, raw, and I've
Very
got.
cool.
I'm still waiting on Iblis and Bazin. But
These are the auction items?
yeah,
Long?
currently no, but boy knows. But yeah,
Now,
she's
for
still
the
working on this
Alta
one.
electric arm, was that painted or was that done with like resin?
I mean the whole thing is it's a I think it's a resin print. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how it works, but I know she painted. I'm so bad at it. But if he catches it later, special thanks to Mikhail, who put the
Nice.
the files together, and he went to town on those things, because he would like message me at like 3 o'clock in the morning his time and be like, so I tried it again, I made an adjustment and I did another print. I'm like, okay, go to bed, sir.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to just have those on the table. They're decently sized.
Don't worry, Jeff. No one noticed that you were 5 minutes behind. That's just how we always see and read your comments.
So they're pretty decently sized.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Card.
Yeah.
I'll play you for a set.
One is the only set I got, and I
Ah,
was expecting to have to pay a lot more for these. Because they asked, because I remember like seeing stuff about like commissions, like minis, painting commissions, and printing commissions. Those like in the hundreds. And she's,
Yeah.
you know, and she's just like, yeah, they're like 30, 40 bucks a pop. Like, okay, I'll do that.
very
And I'll give you
cool.
stuff. We'll see
Very
what
cool.
we'll see what I do with these after.
Nice.
I'm not there yet.
Cool.
I need to get them all in my hand first.
Did you have a reveal, or was that the reveal?
No, that's not the reveal.
Oh,
That's not the reveal.
Joey.
For Joey's PVE, if you don't know, the schedule has been updated on the website to include when his time slots are. So,
Nice.
Yep.
Yep.
I think it's like Saturday 1:30 to 3, Sunday sometime. I don't remember when. So yeah, it's an hour and a half. It's essentially like 2 to 3 encounters. No decks are needed because they're static.
Mhm.
That's so they're ones that are pre-made for it, so that way you can't just like come bolt shot and just end the game in like 2 turns. Like no, I'm controlling the power level a little bit.
That also means you can't just play it and then walk away with the deck. Please leave the deck there. Joey comes back. The word
Yeah.
my cards.
Yeah, or I'll have to build it again because I don't mind. I honestly don't mind building 2 sets because they're actually fairly simple to make. Like I wanted to make them so that way they're really easy to put together. So it's not like 7 or 8 or 9 of a card because that just doesn't scale very well. And the hope is that there's something that if it works out, it's something that we can just put the lists out, and then people are like, hey, I want to introduce you guys to Genesis, but I don't necessarily want to do it competitively. I've got decks made for you.
Yeah.
What would you like to play? Would you like to be a tank or a healer or a DPS? And it's all like a blend of all. But I learned that with Long. The original Long, he had too much healing. He healed Iblis for like 24, which sucks, by the way. But then he couldn't do anything. Like he just sat there. Like everybody had like their summons and everything, and Long's just like, all right, well I healed you for 8, and now I'm gonna wait for 13 turns. I'm gonna go take a nap. I was like, okay, that's not very fun. But hopefully they're really easy to make and then kind of easy to put together. But no, that's not the deal. That's not what
It being 8:05. Any?
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing. I just gotta get it up there. Okay. So months back, here's my announcement. Months back, I did a 23-second video, and I know it was a 23-second video. It was like because I watched it like 800 times because it took forever. I was real proud of it. So it's a short little video doing an announcement or doing a teaser with a partnership called the Art House Syndicate. The Art House Syndicate is a, for those of you who are in Flesh and Blood, who follow them, the Art House Syndicate is a great way to connect fans of art and game with artists without necessarily having to go like find wherever they're just put, be that Instagram or Imprint or any of these other places. We kind of bring them all together. And the thing that makes them especially fun is that they kind of work more of an art show style. So we can do really cool like cycles and really cool special series of things that one are, they're like tied together in some way. And they also don't make you just kind of feel super intimidated by there's 50 prints. What do I want? One of them. So yeah, they've got very much like an art show feel. So I teased that a little bit while ago, and we've been working our butts off to try to get this thing going, and that includes like figuring out the printing and figuring out the logistics between sharing stuff and figuring out how to tell us that the sharing is disabled on Zoom, and all the little logistics that Assad will eventually figure out and know that I asked for something. Let's go.
You should be able to share now.
Huzzah! Huzzah, huzzah. All right. So, happy to announce that after all that work, hope you guys can see, but the Art House Syndicate is ready to go. This is all fab stuff, but we got a cool.
It'll be like, I don't know any of those champions.
Yeah, that would be a dream to do like an artist swap. they you know, they do Genesis, we do our guys do Fab, but whatever. For like a promo, but whatever. So they do a couple things regarding like posters. Right now we just have posters and art prints, just because we couldn't quite get into things like artist proofs, and we're still figuring out what we want to do. But we pop into the Genesis, Genesis tab. We've got Philippe, Barrio, and Damian. They're going to be selling signed art prints.
Oh wow.
So they've got 6 different pieces of art that are up, each. That you'll be able to get. This isn't like a bidding thing. It's not a thing. These are prints that you're able to buy. So for this cycle, these are the 6 that they've picked. So like in a couple months, we'll do another cycle of different things. And we're exploring kind of different things that we can do. It doesn't just have to be art prints, but there's a lot more to that. So yeah, I'm really excited to be able to finally get this thing going.
There goes Jordan's money with those 2 desk theaters, sure.
I'm excited for the Death's Companion is gonna be real interesting. But for those of you who are maybe still pondering going to Days of Beckoning, these are also, Damian is also bringing some of his prints that are from this. So you're basically kind of getting a little bit of early access to these. And the reason it's early access is because this is not going to go live until Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We were actually going to do it Friday, and I forgot about the auction, and Alex made the good point of, like, let's have them, like, maybe not blow all their money before they show up to the event. I was like, and I, like, originally challenged it for about 2 seconds, and I was like, actually, crap, that's a really good point. So, yes, there's a little timer on it. By little, I mean incredibly small. But, yeah. Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Art House Syndicates for cool artist prints. Awesome. Signed. All of them are signed. That is important to know. So
very cool.
That's my little announcement. I'm very, very happy to finally be able to get that off the ground, and this is gonna be a really cool thing that we get to kind of keep doing more and more and more of. So, and the other thing that's really important to know is this is supporting them. HCG we get no money for this. This is not a thing that we get. We get to be like, hey, we're supporting the Daylights Out of artists, and we get to have our name on a real cool site with a bunch of other people who love art. But yeah, this is for them. Go support artists.
Oh, nice. All right, I guess that's our time.
Yeah,
that's our time.
We'll see everyone on Friday. Friday.
Friday at least will be the Thursday, but can't wait, everybody. Cheers.
Later.
Bye.
All right. Bye.